I remember growing up as a kid, you used to hear your parents or your grandparents come up with these funny sayings. You're like, oh my God, what the heck does that mean? Or you just hear like sayings on television or wherever. You just hear these funny sayings like stitching time and penny saved is a penny earned and all those crazy sayings you used to hear. But we're gonna explore where some of these might have came from and much, much more on today's edition on Mental Mail. Welcome to Mental Mail. And I remember like growing up, man, I used to hear my grandmother could come up with some funny sayings. And you would hear a lot of funny sayings growing up. And so I was kind of like, where the heck some of this stuff come from? So you're gonna see me probably looking down a lot because I'm gonna read off cause I'll be reading some of the sayings and where they came from. And as a full disclosure, some of them, you know, I don't use. I heard of it, don't use. And then when it came to the ones that I heard, especially in our culture, I couldn't find a lot of origin for them, but we're gonna go through them anyway. Bitter ends, like that saying, "I'm down to my bitter ends." It was when an anchor cable that's wrapped around the post was called the bits. The last piece of the cable was called the bitter end. So if you left out of the cable and the last part, you get to the last part of it, you reach the end of your resources. You reached your bitter ends. And then we got the term diehard. We hear it all the time. I'm a diehard such a sports fan. I'm a diehard this. I'm a diehard that. You hear this all the time. This referred to a man who struggled the longest when he's being hung. That's one of the sayings. So that part just keep on struggling, keep on struggling, keep on struggling. He died hard. Or also referred to William Inglis. He told his troops when they was in a battle with Napoleon, stand strong and die hard. Well, eventually he lost 75% of his troops. And he gained a nickname. Well, all of them got her the nickname diehards. So that's kind of where it came from, So diehards either come from a person back in the day where they used to have trials that would hang people. The last person dangling on the rope, or not the last person, the person who struggled the longest, he was called a diehard. Or William Inglis, I think that's how you say his name. He told his troops to stand strong and die hard. So now you know where that comes from. Peanut gallery. I know you heard this before. My mom used to tell me this one. We don't hear nothing from the peanut gallery. We won't hear nothing from the peanut gallery. Well, that comes from the cheap seats in the theater. So all the aristocrats and everything was kind of like down up close seats. And then the cheapest seats was called the peanut gallery. So we don't hear nothing from the peanut gallery. That's where I came from. Cakewalk. I know y'all heard this one before. It's going to be a cakewalk. It's going to be a cakewalk. That's going to be a cakewalk. Well, actually, this came from when the black enslaved people will dance and imitate how the white slave owners danced. That was called a cakewalk. I thought that was interesting. So those are some of the sayings I found interesting. I know I heard some of them a lot. Don't really use them a lot. Cakewalk I use. Die hard, yes. I heard bitter ends, but I already used that a lot. Peanut gallery I heard before. Mom said that to me a couple times. But let's get to the ones that I've heard growing up. Now these I didn't find any background on them, so I don't know where they came from. But I know if you grew up in my culture, you heard some of these, if not 90% of these growing up. You better know your schoolwork, just like you know the words of that song. Oh my God, how many heard that? I mean, how many heard that one? My grandma said it to me all the time, because you had your little radio, you bouncing, and you singing the song, and grandma be like, you better know that schoolwork, just like you know the words of the songs. You be like, oh my God, all right, grandma, all right. Hey, I know, come on. I know somebody heard that one before. I know. Drop in the comments, let me know if you heard that one. What's this other one? You make your bed hard, you gotta lie in it. And this kind of, I know where this comes from. This kind of refers to like, people who live a hard life or done things, that were hard, I guess, so to speak. You got to suffer the consequences. You got to suffer the consequences. I've heard that one before. I've heard different variations of that. Basically, I heard it before. You make your bed, you lie in it. Or you make your bed hard, you lie in it. Or you make, that, whatever variation, I've heard this one before several times. I'm from the school of hard knocks. My granddad used to love saying that. I remember, side note story. I remember when I had a sweatshirt and it had School of Hard Knocks on. I might have been like 10 years old. Yeah, I ain't know what it was. I just like the color of it. You don't know what that is. You ain't from the School of Hard Knocks. I'm from the School of Hard Knocks. I hear him say it all the time. What's the School of Hard Knocks? You don't know nothing about that. Right, it's just a sweatshirt. It's just the sweatshirt. It takes a strong woman to fill that cup. Now, this one I heard, but I've heard of it, but I have not heard it said a lot. Let me say that. I've heard of it, but I've heard it said a lot. Now, if you heard it, let me know. It basically means a woman who had who been through a lot of ups and downs. If you hang with 9 broke friends, you're bound to be the 10th one. Granddad say this to me all the time. And part of that story is I remember being upstairs and talk to him. He's sitting in his room. A lot of times he played a lot of solitaire, so he'd be playing solitaire on his bed. And yeah, and I was good for, my friend such and such, and my friend so and so, and my friend this, and he said 2 things. He'd say, if you hang with 9 broke friends, you're bound to be the 10th one. So in other words, hang with somebody that's doing something. Because if everybody broke, then you're going to end up being broke. Because birds of a feather flock together. Heard that before. Or he'll say, if you live to be 100 years old and have 1 friend, you're blessed. And I didn't understand that until I became an adult. I mean, I was like, this old man tripping. You know what I'm saying? He out his mind. What are you talking about? All these friends I got, he out his mind. And then, as you get older, some of those things come back to you like, oh, that's what he's talking about. Here's one my mom used to always say, oh my God. And it always came right before I got a whooping too. She would say, you don't believe fat meat greasy. You don't believe fat meat greasy. How many heard that one? How many have heard this one? And this always came right before the whooping. You don't believe fat meat is greasy. I don't know what fat meat and grease got to do with the whooping. You know what I'm saying? But I used to hear that one all the time. She'd say that my mom used to say something too. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Anybody heard that one? Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Here's one of my grandma's favorite ones. She tell I say here's one all the time. Stop begging. You beg Jesus. You beg Jesus off the cross and nibble at his feet. I'd be like, what the heck? Oh, grandma said all the time. Grandma was good for that one. Boy, stop begging. You beg Jesus off the cross and then nibble at his feet. How many heard that one? Now that one right there is one of my grandma's favorite ones. And then she'll say, one monkey don't stop no show. We just get a white one and paint it black. I was like, okay, I don't know what that means, but all right, grandma, I hear you. How many of us heard that one? Here's one. And we always get this one. I remember playing spades and one of my friends' uncles was use this one. He be slapping the card. Now you playing space, you slapping the cards. Like, bam, bam, bam. So I'm gonna get that book or Skip ain't no pup. Boom. He'd be like, what? And he'll slap the card down. And he'll say, boom, I'm gonna get that book or Skip ain't no pup. Boom. So I was like, what the heck are you talking about? But you say it all the time, or and basically what that means, if you ever heard that before, it's like for sure, or if you say, I'm trying to think of a good way to explain it. Basically just means for sure, this is for real, this is what it is, this is the truth, or this is gonna happen regardless. No, this gonna happen for real or for sure. Skip ain't no pup. So like you'll say, man, you going to the movies? Yeah, I'm going to the movies. Skip ain't no pup. So this means for sure, for real. Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's the truth. That's gonna happen. But yeah, so those are some of the sayings I came across. I was thinking about this the other day. I thought I'd throw this on the show today, just have a little fun with it. And what makes it better, if you get in the comments and tell me some of the things you have heard, or have you heard some of these, have not heard some of these. Boy, growing up, you used to hear some sayings, man. And it's probably more I ain't forgot about. I hear my mama say some things. I'm like, dang, I ain't heard that in a while. Our grandparents gone now, so I can't really hear them say it. Or great aunts and all of them used to say some stuff. But if you heard some of these things, drop a comment, say you heard it, or drop some comments stuff that you may have heard that I haven't even mentioned. Especially in our culture, man. I know Black folks say some crazy stuff. Just saying. We just say some crazy stuff. I don't know where it come from. I don't know where they get it from. But I be looking like, where the heck did that come from? But anyway, until next time, peace.